Are you currently or were you previously a government employee? What's the difference between TSP and IRA? Give me a second, I'll be right back. So if you are currently or you were previously a government employee, I'm sure you know what a TSP account is. It's your retirement plan through your employer being the government. Everybody that works for the government has TSP or at least access to it. And if you worked for the government long enough and you participated in TSP, you accumulated assets with the investments under TSP. And if you worked there long enough and made enough contributions, it's probably turned into a significant amount of money over time. I'm a financial advisor and fiduciary, and I work with current and previous government employees on their TSP accounts, and I talk to them about the difference between TSP and IRA. The main question is there any advantage to moving from a TSP account over to an IRA account? And in order to understand that and whether or not there's an advantage, we have to understand the difference between the two. It's an easy way to set money aside for retirement. There are absolutely no fees associated with TSP, and you've got options. Things like stocks, bonds, fixed accounts. They've even added what's called target date funds. Those are those 2025 funds, 2030, 2040. They've got a number associated with them. So TSP over the years has done a better job of providing options. Used to be there was just a handful of options. Now there's maybe two handfuls of options, but at the end of the day, two handfuls still isn't a lot of options. So many people get curious about what could you do with a TSP account, or what would you want to do potentially with a TSP account? And in order to understand that, you have to know what the options are. So one of the most obvious options for people would be IRA. So you've got TSP, then you've got IRA, and think of IRA as individual retirement account as opposed to TSP government retirement account. So the first thing that would happen if you wanted to move your TSP account over to an IRA account, first of all, there would be no fee or tax to move from TSP to IRA. There aren't necessarily any fees on an IRA account, but what you would be adding in an IRA account is multiple investment options, potentially endless investment options. So whereas at the TSP, you're restricted to the investment options that they offer you, with IRA, the world is your oyster. You could do stocks, bonds, mutual funds, any stock, individual stock, collection of stocks, exchange traded funds. I mean, you can literally do almost anything with IRA, and you're continuing to defer the tax on that investment until you take income. So TSP and IRA are very similar. One of the big advantages to IRA would be the investment options that are available to you. And like I said, you don't necessarily have to have any fees on IRAs. So if you just move from TSP to IRA and you chose to not have any fees, you could choose almost any stock that you want inside that IRA. And I would just go to a custodian. I would call up a Fidelity or a Schwab or some other custodian that would set up an account for me, not charge me any fees, and also not charge me any fees to trade the account. Now, the other caveat to that is if you have a TSP account, you also don't have the option of active management. So many people that I meet with around the country are curious, would active management benefit me in my account? Well, you really can't actively manage a TSP account. There really isn't a reason to actively manage a TSP account because there are so few investment options available. Now, if you move to an IRA, you might want to look at active management, but only if it provides a value to you. Now, value comes in different forms and it's different for different people. For some people, value might just be, I want to work with a trusted professional to help me manage that account so I don't have to worry about it. That's a value to many people. Other people might say, I'd be interested in working with a professional to manage the account for me if that professional could show me higher rates of return, net of whatever fee they charge me. If that professional could not only show me higher rates of return, but also reduce the amount of risk I'm taking to get those returns, some people would find that beneficial. So the biggest difference between TSP and IRA is going to be TSP has fewer investment options. IRA has virtually unlimited investment options. TSP has no fee. IRA potentially has no fee, but you can choose to have it actively managed or buy investments that have fees embedded in them. Now, which one's better, TSP or IRA? That depends on what you're looking to accomplish. So if you're retired or close to it, and you want to compare the differences between TSP and IRA, If you want to understand the advantages and disadvantages to both, it's probably a good idea to reach out to a financial advisor. We can give you a very detailed explanation of the main differences between TSP and IRA, the advantages to each, and you can then decide for yourself whether you would prefer an IRA or you would prefer to maintain your TSP account. Thank you for watching. Go to guardingyournestegg.com for your free and objective personal financial plan.